It was 3 years ago when the St. Louis Cardinals won the World Series. It was 2 years ago when the Guilford Viking golf team last won a state championship. And they, like the Cards, are on the verge of capturing another title. The Vikings are just about a golf dynasty in northern Illinois, and this team can tee it up with the best of them.
So far, it's the best team we've ever had. Our overall average is lower. The best team we ever had was in '75, and we had an average of 38.71. Right now, this team is averaging a little less than 38, so that's considerably better than the best team we've ever had.
And that's 38 strokes per 9 holes. That's incredible. There is one thing Guilford hasn't had. They have not had one golfer capture first place in state. Junior Jamie Hogan may not be the oldest golfer on the team, but right now he's the hottest.
Jamie has played extremely well the last 2 tournaments. He's 4 under par for the last 36 holes. And that's just incredible.
I changed my swing a little bit, and it's been working out fine for me ever since. I'm just going to go down and do the best I can and have a little fun, and just hope I can help the team out as much as possible.
Other members of that team include the senior leader, Grant Halverson. Another senior is Brian King. Chad Behrens is another senior. Rick Mandock and Mike Hedberg round out the team that hopes to win state. And they hope to do it, and they should do it. They are definitely one of the favored teams out there. St. Charles has another good team. Coach Lindeman said he would be very disappointed if the team does not come back with a state trophy. You hate to build up pressure on high school kids like that, but I don't think this team feels that they're pretty loose about the whole thing.
No, that whole school right now must have a very winning attitude with the soccer team and the golf team. They have to be very proud.
Golf and cross country, they certainly have their fall sports. Football's a little
Okay, that one you got over the top of bat.
Six-year-old Brian King has been looking for an excuse to try his luck on the PGA Tour for a long time. Next week, he may just find one. The former Guilford High and Northern Illinois standout was one of 4 players to capture an exempt spot in the Motorola Western Open. It didn't come easy, though. He earned it in a sectional qualifier that required a long putt in an extra hole playoff.
Ever since I made the putt to finish that playoff off, I've been thinking first about the first tee and what's going to happen that week.
What's going to happen is King will find out exactly what it takes to be competitive on the PGA Tour.
It's hard to really compete with those guys who play day in and day out and work at it for a living. I'm fortunate enough to have a very good club job. That's the avenue I took.
King has been head pro at the Oak Club in Genoa the past 3 years. And while he's happy to have a steady income, he's even happier to have a chance to knock it around with the big boys. Brian says he's plenty nervous about teeing it up with some of the greatest players in the game. His goal is to simply make the cut. If, however, he strings a few great rounds together and ends up earning himself a healthy paycheck, he admits that he wouldn't mind giving up the security of his head teaching job in order to test the tour waters full time.
My game's progressed pretty well through the last few years. I don't know as I'm ready to give up that paycheck every 2 weeks to go travel around in my car yet, but it's always in the back of my mind. I've thought just obsessively about what's going to happen that week, who I'm going to be around, what's going to happen. I guess I'll never know till I get there, but I'm really anxious to get there and see how my nerves are and how that first day goes.
And if it goes well, it might be the first day of a brand new career. In Genoa, Andy Klotz, WIFR-TV Action Sports.
Brian King.
Even 80 seemed a tall task in a stiff wind and after a bogey on his first hole. But his supporters insisted he was still having fun.
He is. He said beforehand and afterwards, and you can tell. You can tell. If the conditions were a little better yesterday, he probably would have shot a lot better yesterday.
Brian's score seemed almost inconsequential. This was more like a family outing, with his brother Jake carrying his bag and the rest of the clan walking along.
It's great just to see him out there with top names you see on the TV channels, everything like that. It's just good to be out here.
Do you ever imagine that he'd be on the tour through high school or even before and picking up the game?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Proud parents then, nonetheless.
Yes, we are very proud.
Brian got the 80 he was shooting for a two-day total of 17 over par. He missed the cut by 14 strokes, but still finished ahead of 9 other players. So Brian's first PGA Tour experience ends after just 2 rounds. That's still 36 holes more with the pros than most of us will ever get, and it's given Brian a memory for a lifetime. At the Western Open in Cog Hill, Andy Klotz, WIFR TV Action Sports.